Merrick Garland said something today. I pulled the sound just before we went live, and I'm leading into the show with this because it just blew my mind. Just listen.
Our norms are a promise that we will fiercely protect the independence of this department from political interference in our criminal investigations. Our norms are a promise that we will not allow this department to be used as a political weapon. And our norms are a promise that we will not allow this nation to become a country where law enforcement is treated as an apparatus of politics.
Yes, clap, clap, clappy. It's like, oh my God. This is how dangerous these people are. You see where I'm going with this? It's as if he is aloof to what's happening in this country right now. The fact that his Department of Justice, the Biden Department of Justice, they are prosecuting their political opponents right now. As that sniveling little D-bag stands at that podium, and I heard Bongino do an impression of Merrick Garland. I didn't even realize he did an impression of Merrick Garland. Not that I don't listen to Bongino's show. I love Bongino. I think he's fantastic. But I try to not listen to other conservative influence, other radio host shows, because when I get going on the show, I kind of get in my own headspace and I go, and I don't want to say anything that they say because I want you to hear my take and not theirs. And when you just start rolling, you just start going stream of consciousness, right? So I want what I bring to you, to be original and fresh on this show. But somebody sent me Bongino's impression of Merrick Garland, where he's like, "Gah, gah." That's exactly how he is. He will not use the Department of Justice. It's exactly right. It's like he's a villain from Lord of the Rings or from a Sith Lord on the dark side of the Force or something like that. But this guy is literally prosecuting his political opponents right now. The projection coming out of the Biden Department of Justice is staggering. And ultimately, it's dangerous. And the reason why it's dangerous is right on the heels of what he said there about the Biden Department of Justice will never be used as a political weapon, even though they're using it as a political weapon right now. He went on to talk about how dangerous it is for normie and norma, normal Americans to even criticize the Department of Justice. Listen.
A range of public officials across the country. Over the past 3.5 years, there has been an escalation of attacks on the Justice Department's career lawyers, agents, and other personnel that go far beyond scrutiny, criticism, and legitimate and necessary oversight of our work. These attacks have come in the form of conspiracy theories, dangerous falsehoods, efforts to bully and intimidate career public servants by repeatedly and publicly singling them out, and threats of actual violence. Through your work, you have made clear that the Justice Department will not be intimidated by these attacks. But it is dangerous and outrageous that you have to endure them. It is dangerous to target and intimidate individual employees of this department solely for doing their jobs. And it is outrageous that you have to face these unfounded.
It's outrageous that they have to deal with criticism in any form. Do you remember when the Department of Justice or the FBI colluded with the teachers' unions about parents showing up at school boards, creating raising hell because porn was being pushed on their children at very young age in schools? Do you remember the whole LGBTQ LMNOP agenda? Remember, went to the Department of Justice with a bunch of fabricated BS, partnered with the teachers unions to do it. And then the FBI, along with the DOJ, went and targeted, soccer moms in yoga pants and ponytails for daring to have a say in the curriculum of their kids. Do you remember when that happened? Yeah, that was the Garland DOJ. the Garland DOJ and the Biden DOJ is one of the greatest threats to our freedom and liberty that this country has faced really in the modern era. And yes, we've faced external threats before, for sure. Very grave external threats. But this threat comes from within and represents a government that is weaponized against at least half the country. But in my heart and in my soul, I just believe we can turn this ship around. I believe that we can do it. You know, I think 3 more convictions, January 6th convictions for, you know, charges, trumped up charges on 1512C in the DC circuit courts were overturned today. So we've gone from 12 convictions vacated to 15. So it's taking time. It should have never happened. These people being political prisoners in their own country and in the United States of America, it should have never happened. But slowly but surely, I believe that we are winning. I believe that we as conservatives can and will win this if we just keep the pressure on.
Mike Lindell here, and like you, I see our country being destroyed daily. We face massive economic issues, and I can tell you from firsthand experience, there are people in power who threaten the values that have made our country great. Well, I've been a believer in gold and silver for a long time, and I've searched for years for a partner that shares my values. Well, Genesis Gold Group showed me how easy it is to protect your IRA, 401k, or your retirement with gold and silver. Their faith-driven approach to service and stewardship is one that stands out from the rest.
To get your free definitive gold guide and get started learning more about investing in gold and protecting your retirement from uncertain times, visit treasureandtrust.com now. Fill out the basic contact form and a member of the team will be in touch. Again, that's treasureandtrust.com or call 855-625-7760.